Hi, I'm Dan from HValley Tools. I want to show you the next jig that you're going to need to have in your shop. So, you made a lot of picture frames, you make a lot of boxes. Most of the stuff that we make is some sort of a box. But what's nice is that miter joints are not the strongest. It's kind of a cross between end grains, and the glue will seep in. It's not the strongest joint. So often you're going to want to reinforce it with some splines. So for example, this piece of red oak here has some walnut splines in it, but you can get decorative with it too. So this has different heights of it, just for a different design, a different feel to it. Box like this, same deal, miters on the corners, and you want to reinforce them. But this one has a cool little effect where the miters are put kind of on an angle, and then when you round it over, it gives you kind of this arc, this smile face and everything, which is very cool. Or something super fancy, like if you want to do some dovetail splines, but you have some nested dovetails where you got some two-tone in there. It's very cool. So there are a bunch of different ways of doing this. You can make shop jigs and everything to do this. What I like is that this jig right here is the new Spline Jig. It's heavy. It's very well constructed with aluminum. It's high machined, but it has a couple features here that are really interesting. The first is that it works on any table saw, any router table. Because these tracks ride along the fence, they don't dive into the grooves in the table saw, so you can use them anywhere that you're riding on a fence. We have this toggle clamp to hold your piece square. What's nice is that it has some stops in here that are also precision machined, so they can't fall out. If you're adjusting this and you pick it up, it's not going to fall out of the machine. You'd think that that's a silly feature, but it's actually really awesome for the amount of times that you loosen something up and then pick it up and move it, and it doesn't fall out, which is nice. So it's a nice little feature. And then the toggle clamp to really get this thing square to the jig, which is then going to be square to the fence, square to the blade. What's also nice is because you have these machined grooves in here, and there are grooves in the bottom of the toggle clamp, this is already square. It can't twist during operation. When you clamp it down, it doesn't jump on you, anything like that. So honestly, just putting it in here, dropping it in, moving it to where you want to be, and toggling it down, I mean, that's really it. I mean, it's really secure in there. Move your fence where you want the groove to be, lock it in, and you slide it over. And you have your slots. I mean, that's really it, which is great. What's nice and convenient is, especially, you could put the table saw fence at a certain spot, stop it, and then move this, so you don't have to keep moving this. If you're doing two, you could also move the fence if you want. You want to, set a mark at a certain measurement and then add an inch or whatever. The way that this one was done was where we put an angle on the blade itself and then ran this through, so you get some really cool effect here. So another little feature that might be useful for you is that as it currently stands, this box is maybe 3/8 inch off the table. If you want to adjust that quickly, you take this box out. On the sides are two settings here for adjustability where these plates can go. So if you loosen these and bring them in, tighten them down, and do the same thing on this side. Now when you look at that, and you put that box on there, now you're an inch off the cast iron. So this is a good way of giving yourself a 1/2 inch adjustability up and down when you're doing your spline, so you can get a little bit of a deeper spline without having to touch the blade, really. So it's really helpful. And it works across everything. Now when we're on the router table, it's really the same exact operation, but in this one we added a dovetail bit, a large dovetail bit. You can either do a smaller one in 2 passes or something like that, or just use a larger one. fill it in, glue it, trim it, sand it flat, and then do it again. And you get some really cool effect. So it just takes your boxes to the next level, whether you're making a jewelry box, a humidor, or something like that. But it's good because it adds stability and strength to the joint, which will never pop out. So these are available now at HValleytools.com or come in store. They're in stock now.